You almost want to keep hearing it, listening to it.
No. It's very soothing.
It's funny. I'm listening.
Maybe we shouldn't play it before.
I'm listening to it, and I'm looking out the window, and it's raining, and I just got entranced.
You almost forgot what we were
and
doing.
Then I looked at the timer, and it said 35 seconds. Like, oh crap, that's too much. Ooh, so sorry. Anyway, welcome back to Listen to the Words. I'm your host, Andres, and this is my co-host, my baby mama. What else? My jelly to my peanut butter. The butter to my popcorn.
You don't like popcorn.
I like the idea of popcorn. I don't like the execution of popcorn.
Okay, so I just saw a thing. Maybe you sent it to me, or maybe not.
Possibly.
But the 40-year-old guy that ain't no way on Instagram, he goes, "You mean to tell me for 40 years I could have been doing?"
Yeah.
Okay, so he had a thing about popcorn, and if you pop the popcorn in the microwave.
It's still playing.
What are you doing?
I was adjusting it, so when I do the theme song later. Go ahead.
And you pop the bag of popcorn, you put it in a Ziploc bag, and you stick it in the freezer. And apparently, when you do this, you can taste the salt more, and you don't get the kernels stuck in your teeth.
What?
Yeah. And he did it, and he like forgot about the bag. Like after a while, he said he started doing stuff.
But you have to eat it cold?
Yeah, you just put it in the freezer in the bag. And I guess it doesn't like freeze it because he could eat it because he had left it in there like all day. And so he popped another bag of popcorn to compare it.
Yeah.
And he said, even though the warm popcorn was good, he said he liked the frozen one better. So I want to try it.
Now that you say that, I like popcorn. Like if I go to the gas station and buy a bag of chips, popcorn, I like that popcorn.
Yeah.
But the stuff you make here, I'm not a fan of. It always gets stuck in my teeth, and it's just it's too much.
Well, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna pop a bag later and just stick it in the freezer.
Yeah.
And have it later for a snack and see what happens.
I like the toppings, like the ranch dust.
I like flavored popcorn, like the
but just plain old popcorn, it does nothing
like
for me.
Like the white cheddar popcorn or the.
But the popcorn you guys have, you put butter, and I'm like, I might as well just have a spoonful of butter, and it's the same thing to me. I like the little seasoning patches and stuff. Like when we go to the theater in downtown Spartanburg, they have the seasonings and
stuff.
But my thing when we go to the theater is I gotta get my nachos and my jalapenos.
Yeah.
Because, no joke, the best jalapenos in this entire state for me is at the movie theater. I don't know what they got.
Yeah, I don't know.
They got some magical jalapenos.
You have to be like, where do you get your jalapenos? Are they from a can?
They're phenomenal. They're phenomenal. But anyway, we were not going to record this week because I was losing my mind the entire week. I was going bananas. Last week was miserable. I'm not going to lie to you.
A-N-A-N-A-S.
I had to take Xanax every day because I was losing my mind. But that just covers over the pain a little bit, the fear. So you numb the pain a little bit, and then the next morning you're like, oh yeah, T minus X amount of days until I find out if I'm dying or not. So we didn't know that. We didn't know.
Yes, we did know.
We didn't know.
Yes, we did.
But anyway, so we figured we'll record a little update episode, and then we'll do a music episode for next week when we're not in town.
Yeah.
So we'll record that either. Maybe later today. Probably not. Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow.
We'll see.
We got today, tomorrow,
Saturday,
and Sunday. Because after that, we're gone.
Yeah.
But so Tuesday morning was my PET scan. I had a full day at the hospital. Yeah. So they rolled out the red carpet for me. So I had to start with my PET scan. Then after that, I had to go to get my port, the thing in my chest that they feed the chemo and all this fun stuff through. Had to get that cleaned out and then blood draw. Did they do the blood first and then the flush? I don't look. I look away.
They do the flush first because they have to make sure they can get blood return.
Okay.
So they do the flush and got great return on the blood.
Which means my thing is okay.
And then, so she takes a bunch in the vial, in the syringe, and then that she ends up disposing of.
My DNA somewhere else.
And then it's in a hazard
I know, I'm just kidding.
thing. And then she takes 2 to 3 vials after that syringe.
Yeah, Doc wanted one, but she went over and above.
I think she sent it just to be safe, but they only did the one test.
Then after that, I had my visit with my oncologist. So let's start off with, we'll get to the what all happened and my results.
Yeah.
So, excuse me, I'm very emotional about this.
Yeah, tell me about it.
So we get to the PET scan place. We get there early. The paperwork says clear as day everywhere. Be here at 7. My app alerts me and says your appointment's at 7.
Yeah.
We get there. We clock. We check in. The girl's not even there yet. There's no one in the hospital yet.
So we didn't check in.
Sorry.
We had to sit outside the doors until
7 on the dot.
Somebody came and opened the doors. So,
but anyway, we get in there. We sign in, and then this burly guy. Burly, good old Southern boy with a beard and picture Duck Dynasty.
Yeah, yeah.
I may need to go get that Selsun Blue for my dandruff.
We're talking real stuff here, people.
Sorry. Yeah. The radiation that they put in me makes my scalp really dry and my skin dry. So anyway, so we meet this burly guy walks in, Duck Dynasty guy with his wife. Good old Southern boy. He signs in. He sits down, and for some reason, I don't like to talk to people usually.
Yeah.
People like to talk to me, but for some reason I feel like I need to talk to this guy. So I asked him, what are you in for? I was like, are you in for a PET scan? He says, yeah. So we get to talking. He said that he had I
think everybody there is there for a PET scan.
Or a CT scan.
Oh, okay.
They do CT scans there too, according to Buck. Remember he said.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, PET or CT, and I would assume they do other stuff like MRIs and stuff.
Yeah, maybe.
Because it looks like it's an imaging center.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
So we get to talking, and he says that he had some type of cancer cut out a few weeks ago or months ago.
Yeah.
But they found out he had lymphoma, pretty much what I had, have had, whatever. And then we get to talking, and I asked him who his doctor was, and he mentioned that he couldn't remember the name, but he said a name that was very similar to mine. And I was like, that's my doctor. I was like, it's Dr. X.
Yeah.
Well, we give him a shout out, Dr. Buck. His name's everywhere. You go to Gibbs Cancer Center, his name pops up immediately.
Yeah.
So I said, it's Dr. Buck. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, you're in great hands with him.
And this guy has 2 doctors.
He has 2 oncologists.
No, he has an oncologist, and then he had somebody else for another part of
he's a smoker
thing.
too, so that's just
it complicates things for sure.
So we get to talking, and I told him, hey, you're in good hands, they're going to take good care of you, and we get to talking, and then
he was just starting out.
Like
this was his first
this was the PET scan, to determine what treatment plan and what stage he is in. Like this is legit the first, and I remember being in that chair wondering where I was headed, and when we went, nobody talked to me. But I started talking to him, and I tell him how the PET scan's gonna go. I was like, they're gonna do this, they're gonna do this, and this, and this. You're gonna get in that machine. You're gonna just chill for a little bit, and then you can see that he started getting a little more relieved.
Yeah,
like it seemed like it kind of melted away the tough guy facade of burly this.
Yeah, well, and when somebody tells you because it's always scary when you go into a new office that you've never been to. And you're getting something done that you've never had done before. So it helps, I would think it would help anybody. I know it would help me if somebody sitting there said, this is what they're going to do. Because you don't know what's going to happen. So for somebody to tell you, okay, this is what's going on, this is what they'll do, and it's not a big deal. For me, that makes me feel better.
Oh yeah, and I told him, I was like, it's really gonna be nothing. I was
considering what you're gonna be going through.
You're gonna be bored for a bit, and then I talked to him about how my chemo experience went. I was like, it could go this way for you, it could go the opposite way. I was like, this is what happened to me.
Yeah, because we stressed because we both started talking to him, and I was talking to them a little bit after you got called back, and I was telling them kind of like a brief synopsis of what happened to you and how this whole thing got started for you. And I said, everybody's experience is different because everybody's body reacts differently to things. And I told him, I said, they told you that, you would lose your hair. Fortunately, it just thinned out. You really didn't lose much, so, and I said, fortunately, your side effects were not as bad as what they could have been.
Yeah.
So everybody's different. He might have worse side effects because he's a smoker, or he might be fine. You just don't know. So it's everybody's, but we, and we both told him, don't start reading stuff online and trying to figure things out because everybody is different. And you're only gonna see horror stories.
Yeah, and
that's gonna make it worse.
And that's when I first got diagnosed, I went down the rabbit hole bad. And then you stopped me, and then also my chemo nurse was like, just stop. It's just different for everybody. So anyway, they called me back, and I shook his hand. I was like, hey, look, I'm gonna be thinking about you, and you got this. I felt, after the fact, that's probably how Emma felt. The person that I first met when I first started chemo, she got me off the edge because I was about to just jump off a building because I was like, oh my God. But she calmed me down, and one of the biggest mistakes of this whole thing is I never got her phone number.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You might see her again, and
who knows?
You might run into her again one day.
Yeah.
So, and if you do, then you get her number.
Yeah.
But if not, then it wasn't meant to be, and it was just supposed to be that one small
we were
interaction.
in each other's lives for a few months until she finished chemo and she started radiation. But anyway, so I get into the room. The whole PET scan is the thing that hurt the most out of this entire thing. The entire day, I got poked and prodded. The thing that hurt the most was the finger prick to get my blood test.
That always hurts.
Because he's like, okay, let's do your finger. He's like, let's test your blood. I was like, all right, cool. Which finger? He goes, well, pick one. So I was like, do my left finger because I'm a right hand. And he hits it, and I was like, whoa. He's like, did that hurt? And I was like, that hurt really bad, dude.
Yeah.
He's like, okay. And then he did. He's like, let's do the IV. And I was like, okay. Didn't feel him go in.
Yeah.
And he left it in because he's like, I have to go get your medicine. I was like, all right, straight, whatever. Didn't feel it in. He has to bring this whole, like, it's radiation, it's poison. So he's like, he brings this syringe that's like encased in lead metal. So he's like, all right, do this. So he's like struggling to lift it. And he's like squeezing it in, and then he takes the thing out. I didn't even feel anything, not a thing.
Yeah,
I don't even have bruising this time around. Sweet,
that's good.
Great guy. He did my last PET scan. The first one was a younger black guy, and then this guy was the one that did it last time, and then this time. He's like, I recognize you. I was like, yeah, this is my third rodeo. I'm good. I know what to do. So anyway, we go in the machine. You're in there for about, if I had to guess, because you lose all sense of time. I took a Xanax too, so you lose all sense of time in the machine because you're in. It goes in, takes you out, in, out. It's like it's the weirdest thing. So about, I would say 20 minutes if I had to guess. I should have looked at my watch and then timed it when I got out.
Yeah.
But anyway, we get that done. I tell him, hey, look, I need these results to go to my doctor like
right now.
because I have an appointment with him in 2 hours.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, we'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. So at that point, you come in because we need to put the numbing cream on my port because they're going to stick this giant needle in my chest to do all this stuff. So we get that done. We grabbed some breakfast. We ran into our good friend Alex, the guy he went to all my chemos. He works at the hospital, so he was there.
Yeah.
Grabbed some breakfast. Then we went to the chemo center where they had to do my port flush and my blood draw. And it was like I was a celebrity. I mean, they all knew I was there.
They're like, hey.
They're like, oh, hey, how you doing? Da, 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 da. And then my chemo nurse saw me, immediate big hug.
Yeah.
I love her to death. And we caught up with her. She did my little flush and my
blood draw.
Ugh, it's just so yucky. It's just like I'm shivering. It's so yuck. She brings out. And it sucks because I know the whole. I did the procedure for 7 months. I know exactly all her steps, and I'm like, oh, I hate when she takes off Kelly has to put the cream on me and then put a piece of Saran wrap on it so it doesn't smudge on anything.
Yeah.
Because if I touch it, my fingers go numb and it's weird. Yeah. So she takes off the Saran wrap, then she grabs this little stick with rubbing alcohol and then rubs the port thing. And she has to wait for it to dry. While she's waiting for it to dry, she gets this big needle, starts squeezing saline through it to make sure it's okay. And I'm watching her. I'm like, oh, I don't want want to do this anymore. I was like, I thought it was done.
But at least it's just a blood draw.
Yeah.
You know, at least it's like it's quick and painless, and you're not sitting there for hours and your butt going numb.
Yeah, and then she's like, okay, we're gonna. She always says, take a deep breath, and I'm like, okay, and then she's like, did you feel that? And I was like, no, actually, I didn't feel it. So you did your job right. I didn't have to feel a thing. Yep. She did the whole song and dance, pull the blood, flush everything, and she's like, okay, ready to pull out. She always says, take a deep breath out. So out, didn't feel a thing. Puts a Band-Aid. I go about my day. So I was like, okay, cool. We say our goodbyes. We talk to her about a little bit about our trip that's coming up.
She has a new grandbaby. She has a new
grandbaby.
We were talking to her about her.
They just miss me. She told me that they miss me. She's like, we miss you guys. So I was like, I miss you guys too. I miss being here, but I don't miss the reason I was here.
Yeah.
So after that, we go down, like my doctor's on the floor right below the chemo center. So we run downstairs. We were about, 45 minutes early for our appointment?
Yeah. But I mean, better to be early than late.
Yeah. So we go to my doctor's appointment. We check in. They're like, hey, I was like, we're here really early. Like, we'll get you in. All right, cool. We sit down. 3 minutes later?
Yeah.
They call us back there. I'm like, all right, well, whatever. So they weigh me, take my temperature. I'm staying level at a decent weight, which I'm happy about. I still feel like I'm a little pudgy, but
you're working on it. It's not going to be...
It's because I'm finally eating again.
Right, exactly. So, of course, you're going to gain, a little bit of weight. But
so, we, doc comes in. Oh, no, the nurse asked me questions. How am I feeling? I said, I feel better. I'm not taking daytime naps anymore. I'm not fatigued. I'm walking every day. I'm eating better. And she's like, oh, fantastic. I was like, my fingertips, I can feel them again.
Yeah, you're having some semblance of a normal
I'm getting
life.
to that, quote unquote. I was like, if I could get my sleep back, that'd be fantastic. But sleep's never going to happen. I've accepted that. So she checks all my stuff out. Okay, cool. Doc comes in. He's like, no, he didn't even come into the room. He just opened the door. He says, hey, you want to see your scan?
Yeah, he came in. He was like, oh, your scan, this is how your scan looks. You want to see it? I'm like, okay.
I was like, okay. Well, we got the results on my chart first, and you started reading them, and it didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I opened it, and I read the last sentence.
It made sense. I was just trying to tell you, I was telling you it didn't make sense because I didn't want you to start reading it. Because from reading it, I knew. And I wanted you to, because I know how you are, you have to see it to believe it, and I wanted you to wait.
Yeah.
And see, and then you didn't, and you kept reading, and then I got annoyed.
Yeah. So anyway, you got annoyed me because I'm reading my test results. Thank you.
Yeah. Because I wanted you to see the picture.
So anyway, we he's like, hey, come, you want to come and look at the scans? So we walk with him to his little work area in the back with all his nurses are there. My nurse navigator's there, and so he pulls it up, but he's fiddling. So the first picture I saw was my original one with the giant black mass, the cancer
you
in my
thought that
chest,
was it?
and I'm like, okay, well, this sucks.
Be like, hey, look, we're back to square one.
We're back to square one. We're gonna start this whole crap over again. I'm like, you know what? Just forget it. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna go eat some vegetables somewhere and be done with this. But let me drink water. Excuse me. So he shows me the original, and I'm like, okay, I remember that one. And then he shows me the one for Tuesday morning, and it is. You felt that?
I heard it.
Okay. Clean as a whistle.
Yep.
Like, the only spot there was my port.
I don't even think that was there.
It was. It's
okay.
very faint.
Because it was more noticeable in the second PET scan. And
no, it's not.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that was probably still some cancer.
Yeah, it's not there.
So it's not. So it wasn't the port. The port doesn't show up.
Not at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nothing there. Huh.
So I think that was just residual cancer. Like it got some of it, but not all of it.
That's my phone background now.
Yeah. It better not be.
Oh, it better be. Oh, anyway. So he's like, so we look at the pictures and there's nothing there. So we walk back to the room.
Yeah.
What do they call the consultation rooms? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's just a room.
Yeah, hit the room. We leave his little work area and go to the room.
The patient room,
whatever. So he's like, hey, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Blood looks good. Everything's looking good. He's like, at this moment in time, you're cancer free.
Yep.
And I'm like, well, I started crying. First of all, I started crying in the back room after I saw my PET scan.
Yeah.
I started boo-hooing because I'm emotional like that. So we walk back to him. He tells me that, and I'm in shock because I was expecting the complete opposite. I'm expecting it to be bad news. Hey, this thing came back.
Yeah.
Done deal.
Yeah.
But make your final amends with
Oh
people.
my gosh, you're so crazy. you say I exaggerate and go to
my God, yeah, you
to
do.
the worst possible.
You do.
Okay, yeah,
do.
and you don't.
No, I don't.
Of course not.
So anyway, so he's like, I can't. He's like, I'll be honest with you. He's like, it could come back.
Yeah.
But that's the case with anyone who has cancer. It could come back. And if it does come back, we make different plans. He explained to us what those plans would be. And he's like, but let's not go too deep into that because it may never happen. He goes, I've had
you may
10,
not have to worry about
he
it.
says 10 or 12 patients he has. It was only one has come back.
Yeah, like one or two.
One or two. So he's like, and you've made changes in your lifestyle. You're moving, you're exercising, you're eating better.
And if you keep with those changes, then you're just going to keep getting better.
Yep.
So if it comes back, you can have a clear conscience that it was through no fault of your own, which it wasn't your fault to begin with.
And also, he explained the procedures of what would have to happen, and I was like, that's more doable than another 7 months of chemo.
Yeah.
Because another 7 months of that, 6 or 7 months of that is...
Yeah, it's a lot.
That ain't happening.
Well, and what they would do is what they do for anybody if it comes back. That's just their way of doing things. But
he told me it's gone right now. But I have to come back and I have to see him in 3 months. Blood draw, port flush, all that fun stuff. See him again, make sure that everything's okay, and then in 6 months I go in for a CT scan. We're not doing PET scans anymore.
Well, it would probably be 3 months from that visit.
Yeah, 6 months from now, but 3 months from that visit.
Yeah.
A CT scan to see how everything's going. And I won't have any more PET scans. According to my schedule that I have, it's all CT scans moving forward.
Yeah.
CT scans and blood work.
Yeah.
So, because the PET scans, it does a number on my stomach.
Yeah.
And I feel like crap the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Because there's radiation in your body.
And a CT scan is still going to show you if there's cancer.
Yeah.
Or if there's anything foreign in your body. The PET scan just
lights everything up.
Yep. So it's just like PET scan is like basically a confirmation. So if you have a CT scan and everything's fine, there's no need for a PET scan.
Yeah.
They would probably have you do a PET scan if the CT brought something back. So
yeah. So it's all clear. I got no more cancer right now.
You cancer free.
I am cancer free right this second. And he's like, well, what are you going to do to celebrate? And I was like, well, now you say that. Me and the wife here are going to New York City on Monday.
Yeah, we are.
Today's Thursday. We're leaving on Monday.
Yep.
And then we're actually recording this during my lunch break.
Ooh. What time you get off work today?
3. So in about an hour. I took a late lunch break today.
Yeah, you did.
But there's no more cancer. We're going to New York City. And he told us that he was there about 3 weeks ago. And he said he almost got hit by his words exactly. I almost got hit by a bus.
We're like, yep, that'll happen.
Yeah. But it was a good day yesterday. Yeah. And it was very emotional. I know, was it yesterday? No, yesterday was Wednesday. So 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
Because yesterday I was still riding the emotions of everything. We left the hospital and I was just... There was a lot of emotions going on because...
Well, it's shock, too.
Yeah, it was shock.
It's a good shock, but it's still a shock, It's because it's like you went from being really sick, and having this thing in your chest to all of a sudden it's gone.
Yeah.
And the last, 8 months have just flown by. So.
They did and they didn't.
Yeah, I know.
They really did, but when I look back, I'm like the days that we would come back from, the days we're in chemo when I'm sitting in that chair, just seem like forever, and then the next day it would just seem like forever.
They're long. It's long days.
Yeah,
it's very long days, and when it's happening, it's going by really slowly.
Oh my God, yeah.
But when we're at this point, it's like, man, that went by fast. Because even from when you rang the bell to now, that went by so fast to me.
Oh yeah, I mean that flew by because I'm like okay.
I feel like we had just scheduled it. And
all of a sudden, because I remember the last day of chemo, okay, we have your appointment, your first your visit with doc and then your PET scan 3 months from now. I'm like, all right, cool, straight. I got plenty of time. And almost I was like, oh, it's tomorrow.
Yeah, I know.
And I was like, oh no. So, of course, all of last week I was paranoid about this thing, freaking out.
But it's
And then 5 months and 3 weeks from now, I'll be freaking out again.
exactly. It's just nature of the beast.
Until at the 5-year mark when they say, hey, hasta luego.
It's just checkups every so often.
Yeah.
So.
So yeah, that's the update.
Yep.
That is all that we got.
So we're cancer free in this house now.
Yeah. It's been a long ride.
No more doctor visits for a while.
Well, 3 months from now.
3 months.
As
Which
opposed
will
to
go
before.
by like that.
Yeah. Because what is it? December 19th, is it? Something like that?
Yeah. December 19th.
It'll fly by.
Am I boring you?
A little bit.
Oh,
a little
thanks.
bit. No, I got up at 5 today, so I'm a little tired. Yes, it was 4, so at least 1 hour extra.
Yeah.
I'm rewatching 24, and so I started. Well, apparently last night I stopped it in the middle of an episode, and so I started up. Resumed viewing this morning, and I'm looking at it, I was like, I don't remember any of this. So I rewinded it. Don't remember any of this. So I had to restart the entire episode again. I'm like, wow, I was out of it last night. But so yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
What else? You got any tidbits of information that you want to share?
No.
Then we got a Costco lunch afterwards too.
We did. We had a Costco.
We had a nice
lunch.
little afternoon together.
We did. I was tired. We were both tired. I was like, it hit me when we were sitting at Costco. I was like, the adrenaline has worn off from the day. Because like in the first thing in the morning, it's like, and throughout the whole,
go.
Yeah, you don't realize how much your adrenaline's going because you're focused on other things. And so, and the anxiety that you don't realize you're holding on to, waiting for those results.
Yeah, I unclenched my butt cheeks afterwards.
And it's like you almost feel like you're holding your breath the entire time. You're not, but and it's like, oh my gosh, like, when you get those results and everything is fine.
Yeah.
So, so like after that, it was finally when we were like just sitting for a while at Costco eating and everything. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired right now.
Yeah.
Like,
I got tired too. It just hit like after we ate, because I was like, I haven't eaten Costco lunch in forever. I was like, oh, I'm craving a Costco lunch. Yeah. And if you haven't had a Costco lunch, then you're missing out.
It's so inexpensive and so good.
And good. But did we talk about me buying my AirPods Maxes?
No.
I think we did. I bought
them. We did.
I finally got myself my gift.
Yep. You did.
And then in turn you got a gift. And then Sophia got a gift.
I did. Yeah, we did.
So I ended up buying the iPhone 16 Pro. So I got myself a phone.
And then I got your phone.
And then Kelly got my iPhone 14 Pro. And Sophia got Kelly's iPhone 14. So Sophia went from the iPhone XR to iPhone 14. And she's like, yay! She's all happy.
I know. And it's like throwing me off because she's still using my case. So it's like, I think it's my phone. And I'm like, oh, shoot.
she looked, yeah, that's funny. But I made my case. So on my old iPhone, I had a Ted Lasso Believe poster sticker on the back of it. And it's beyond worn out. Like
it's faded. Well, the oil's in your skin from holding it.
So
that's why.
From diagnosis, from my hospital stay until the day I bought the iPhone, I've had that case on with that sticker on, and it's just all worn out. It holds a special place in my heart, honestly, because it was with me the entire trip. Yeah. So I kept the case. I didn't give it to you because it's there. Yeah. And so I made a new sticker with the Believe sign. But if you watch the show, actually I can't spoil it. I don't want to spoil it. But there's two versions of this Believe sign. Yeah. There's the beginning, the first one, and then there's one at the end. Yeah. I did the one at the end because I feel like it reflects my journey. Yeah. And if you've seen the show, it'll make sense.
Yeah. And if you haven't seen the show, then go watch it and it'll make sense.
Yeah, it'll make sense. But yeah, so that's that. That's our life update number 3, 4. I forget which
25.
one. 25. No, we've only done like two or three life updates.
I know, but I feel like every episode we say, okay, so this is what's going on.
But now you won't. Now There is no more. That's what's going on.
No, it's
It just is.
every 3 months now. We'll let y'all know how things are.
Yeah, we'll just slide it in with one of the episodes. Like, hey, this is happening today.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Life update 2. This is life update number 3 then.
Okay, so this is number 3.
This is number 3. Because we did one in the middle. We did a life update on January 25th after my first chemo. And then we did one in April 9th.
Which was mid chemo after your
after my PET scan. So yeah, this will be life update number 3 that'll be going up there.
Yeah.
And now we got to figure out what episode we're going to record for music. Oh, God. Hey, I've done the work. You just pick a song.
I know. None of them are hitting me right, though.
Then you pick a song. Then you pick a song.
I know. I'll
make a document. Because you're so busy?
No, I just don't want to.
I'm going to have to fire you. Get a new co-host.
Yeah, right.
I just can't hold a co-host.
I'm the longest running co-host you've had.
You are. I mean, we've been doing the podcast. Well, actually, this will be episode 99.
Oh my goodness.
So our next episode is going to be
100.
So yeah, we're just going to do it. We'll record an episode of the 100th episode, just recapping what we've done in the last 100 episodes.
Okay.
Wow, we've been doing this podcast since 2022.
Oh, 2 years.
Jeez, it's my longest running podcast too. But anyway, so with that being said, let's just wrap it up. I'm tired. I gotta go back to work too.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So. Yeah. OC.
OC?
Like, oh yeah. OC in Spanish. C.
I was like, Orange County? Like, what are you...
A whole bunch of leaves flying outside.
The OC.
We're in the middle of a tropical storm outside, so like there's leaves flying everywhere.
Well, we're not in the storm.
We are.
It's like the outer skirts of it.
Hurricane Helene,
I think it's
Felicia, something. Anyway.
Bye, Felicia.
So the next time you'll hear from us, no, we'll record one before we go to New York.
Yeah.
After that, we'll be back from New York.
Yeah.
So the show Instagram is Listen to the Words Podcast. The show email is listen to the words pod@gmail.com. And the iPhone 16 Pro is awesome. I meant to say that earlier. What's your show email?
My show email is listen to the words podkelly@gmail.com.
Oh, and I got the titanium desert one. It's really pretty.
It is. It's like a goldish color. It's pretty.
It's the first phone I've had that's that color.
That's not black.
Yeah.
That's so boring.
It's pretty to look at.
I know.
Like,
that's why I like getting colored, like different colored phones.
Yeah.
Like even if I put a case on it, I know it's the color.
Yeah. All right then. Well, we'll see you guys next time. Bye.